In this video, I'm going to talk about how to do a password recovery on Cisco routers. So here I have a router, a switch, and a computer. And basically, this computer has its gateway uh, configured with the router IP address, uh, and it can ping the router. Let me just verify that. So yeah, before I recorded the video, I actually ping it just to verify things. Yeah, I can still ping it. So let's go to the router. So here, as you can see, I can't get into the router, or I can't log in because let's just assume that I forgot the password. So uh, that's the purpose of this video, to do a password recovery. So actually got some notes here, uh, how to do a password recovery on Cisco routers. So in summary, the big ideas behind password recovery are as follows. I got these from this book here. So step one, boot ROMMON, either by breaking into the boot process from the console or by first removing all the flash memory. So basically that's the first step. So we need to actually restart the router and do a control break for us to get into that ROMMON mode. So let's do that now. Turn it off, turn it on, and then control break. Control break. But actually, we are gonna do that on the PC, right? Because this PC is connected to that router via console. So terminal. So here we are now in the ROMMON mode. So you can type question mark or help. It's gonna they have the same output. So let's go back to this step again. So this part here is complete. We're not gonna actually do this here removing the flash memory, because this is just we are just using packet tracer. But you could actually do this in real world, just removing the flash memory. So step two, set the configuration register to ignore the startup config file. So this is how you would set the configuration register for to ignore the configuration the startup config file. So let's go ahead and do that. 2142. Okay, and reboot it. So this is the command configuration register utility, and this is to reboot the router. While it's booting, let me read step 3. Boot the router with an iOS. The router boots with no configuration. Now you can reach. So this actually because I think this is because at step number 1 you remove the flash memory where the iOS is stored. So when you reboot it, or when you boot it, boot the router. Oh, sorry. Actually, it's step 2. Boot the router when I boot The router with an iOS, the router boots with no configuration. So remove the flash memory, right, where the iOS is stored, and then you get into the boot, into the ROMMON, and then you set up or you configure the configuration register, and then you boot the router with an iOS, and the router boots with no configuration. So this what happened here. That's what happened here, right? So I'm gonna do a no. So before I could not log in into the router, but now I can, and it's not asking for a password. I'm gonna do a startup config. So this is the password that we forgot, and we can't really recover it because it's a type 5 password. But here you can see that that port still has that IP address. So what you're gonna do next is copy the startup config into the running config. So that's what I did right there. And now we're gonna set the enabled password, Cisco, enable secret at Cisco, and then end. So here you can see that that port is admin down. So let me go ahead and unshut that port. Okay, unshut it, and let me try and ping the host. Actually, we have to fast forward STP convergence. Let me ping it again. I should be able to ping it now. Okay, and let me verify the configuration register by doing a show version. So now, I mean, you can see that configuration register is that. So I have already saved cd-config, right? Not yet. Yeah, not yet. So let me actually save the config first before changing the configuration register, just to demonstrate that you don't have to config this to save your configuration after changing the configuration register. Config register 2102. Is that the correct config register or the default config register? I actually get these configuration settings from Cisco website. So yeah, this is default value for most platforms, and this is what we did earlier, just to ignore the NVRAM file. And this is also the standard break key combinations that you can use. In my case, I did use control break or control C, and this is the details of the password recovery procedure at the Cisco website, but I did not followed. I mean, I didn't go through this procedure here. I just followed this here. So let's go back to our topology. Oops. Oops, I'm not gonna save the config, right? Let me do a reload. No. Confirm. Okay, it's booting now. Let's just wait for the router to reload, or to yeah, to reload with the router. This is not really applicable in our case because uh, we did not remove the flash memory, right? So we just broke into the uh, we just broke into the boot process, and then we set the configuration register to ignore the startup config file, and we set that configuration register to this value, and then reboot the router with no configuration, and yeah, we were able to reach enable mode from the console without needing any password. So this is not really applicable here, and this here in our case. Okay, so the router has booted. Let me do an enable. So we changed the password to Cisco, right? Okay, now we are able to log in with that password. We do a show IP interface brief again. Okay, port is up. Let me ping the host. I should be able to ping it. Okay, and let me do a show version. Okay, like I said earlier, we don't have to save the configuration after changing the configuration register, because this is a separate parameter. So yeah, we have now successfully uh, recover, or actually change the password. Uh, so I hope that you have found this video informative and useful. So thanks for watching.